Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Zachariah the Ghost. Let me talk about episode 28 of The Wife. Of course, it was a great episode. But first, let me talk about war between Sambulo and his traditional healer. Because that was something that I sat down and I looked at it over and over again. And I realized something. Sambulo is accusing the traditional healer for lying, but actually the traditional healer didn't lie to Sambulo. The traditional healer was afraid to tell Sambulo that he needs more money. Sambulo, he is not paying the traditional healer enough. That's the reason why the traditional healer, he is, borrowing money from the loan shark. Now he is under pressure because they want money, and he couldn't tell Sambulo straight that I want more money, simply because of Sambulo keep on saying, Umuti awubongwa, like we don't pay for medicine. And I look at that, and I was like, you can always be right and be loyal to somebody and make a single mistake and that person forget everything that you have done for them. The traditional healer, he's been doing the ritual or the ceremony after ceremony, making sure that Sambulo, he is strengthened. Sambulo win the election to become the taxi association boss. Even if when Sambulo was going out to do his hitman job, he always came back to the traditional healer so that he can remove the dark clouds. But now, simply because of he wanted more money, he told Sambulo that we need to start with the other process. We are not done. And Sambulo was like saying, I thought we are done because I just came here so that you can strengthen me. And he said, I see enemies simply because of they are not happy with your victory. And I see also one of your brother plotting against you, not happy for what you have achieved. So you need to come to me so that I can remove, the dark cloud and strengthen you and give you more power and everything. Now that's when Sambulo didn't agree with him. He was like saying, don't you ever say a single word about, my brothers, simply because of I know they are loyal and they really loved me. They really love me. I used loved simply because of, they killed him on the next episode. That's the reason why I just used the past tense. I'm sorry about that, if I spoiled that for you. Now, when you look at that, the traditional healer saying the enemies are very angry and they want to kill you. And he's saying they tried before and I know about that. I know that I have enemies. So you are not telling me something new. And if you have nothing to tell me, don't you lie to me. So Sambulo went back to his office because, he was there to the traditional healer's workspace. We call it Indumba, to that roundabout where the traditional healer is doing the consulting. Now, the traditional healer decided to go from, his roundabout to Sambulo's office so that he can remind him that what we spoke about earlier, we need to continue or we need to proceed with the process simply because of enemies are so dangerous and they are going to kill you. They didn't see things eye to eye, and Sambulo was like, promising to kill the traditional healer. He was like saying, if you're going to lie to me, I'm going to find another traditional healer. He left, and when he came back for the second time in the office, that's when the Majola brothers were outside and they overheard the conversation. And he said, listen, Sambulo, I know you're angry. I'm not here to tell you about your brothers anymore. The truth is your brothers really loves you, but I have my own problems. I need money. I need you to help me with, a little bit of money so that I can fix my problems. Now, Sambulo said, so you thought you can just lie to me so that you can make more money from me? And Sambulo was like upset. Of course, I understand he's a, principal guy, but the traditional healer made a mistake by not telling you right away that I need more money. There is no need to continue with, the cleansing process. Now you are telling him that you don't like that and you are chasing him away. And he said, leave my office before I do something that I'm going to regret. Now the traditional healer left the office with a painful heart. And while he was in his randavel, in his indumba, that's when Gwaza showed up. Now look at this. He is desperately needing money, or he is desperately, looking for money. The person that he loves the most the person that he respects the most, the person that he helped the most to be in the position whereby he has more money now, is not even helping him with the problem. And this is the guy that he has been helping for all this time. Now when he is sitting there, he is stranded. He's like, where will I get the money? There comes Gwaza, one of the Majola brothers. And the traditional healer automatically saying, thank God, simply because of ours complaining about not having money. Here is a client. This guy is here to consult. That means I'm going to have a little bit of money because I'm going to charge this guy. So Gwaza is saying, I'm not here to consult. I am here because of I need information. I want you to tell me information about somebody who came here to consult. Now the traditional healer is saying, it's not how things are done here. Whatever that happens in these roundabouts, stay in these roundabouts, and I cannot give you any information about one of my clients. Now Gwaza is saying, look, the street is talking. There is a rumors that you owe loan sharks and they want their money. And we can help you with that problem because money is not a problem to us. He is saying that while he is putting money on the floor, the traditional healer now he's confused. He's trapped now. This is the solution. This guy is giving me money. Do I protect the same guy who promised to kill me? Do I protect the same guy who didn't want to help me when I'm desperate? Or should I give this guy information and get money to solve my problems? Guess what? The traditional healer sold him out. And he said, who do you want to speak about? That's when Gwaza was like saying Sambulo Zulu. Now he gave the Majola brother all the information. He even told him that Sambulo has a back door at his office so that when things do happen, he goes with, the back door. And he is a very dangerous man. Now they gave him money to go and sort out his problems. I wanted to speak about that first before I review the episode. Simply because of now, Sambulo was killed because of the information that the traditional healer gave the enemy. Now I'm like, why don't you just pay the traditional healer enough money so that he will keep on protecting you against the enemy? Simply because of you telling him that you cannot give him money, the enemy showed up. They're saying, we know your problem and we can help you with your problem. But in order for us to help you with your problem, we need you to sell information. It's the same thing that I had 50 Cent saying. The same people that you trust, that they're going to go and do the business for you, I will take money and pay those people. All of a sudden, those people are not going to do anything for you. That's really true. And that's really, really painful because when I look at that situation and I see that Sambulo was in power, he's in a position whereby he can easily pay the traditional healer, but he became greedy, he became arrogant, but he didn't want to pay the traditional healer, and at the end of the day, he got killed. Now, this is going to be a long episode. On the other side, we have seen Zandile and her father having a conversation, and the father was telling her that, he found a new pair of lungs. He was told that, new lungs are available for him and he should go for operation the following day. But what is needed is 300K. Now he needed 300,000. But when he said what is needed is 300, Zandile was so excited, was like saying 300 is nothing, I can just give it to you right now. And he said, no, 300,000. Zandile told him straight away that we don't have that kind of money. I have to go and speak with Nkosana and see if he can help us with that. Because the father was like saying the money is needed urgently because if I don't get those set of lungs, I am going to die. Now she went immediately to speak with Nkosana. Nkosana was sitting down and thinking about the situation of him and the father Mr. Ngobo at his office. Remember, he was there drinking, the expensive alcohol there, and that alcohol was on a top shelf, was, there at a space whereby there was no way, Zandile's father can reach if he didn't know how to stand up. So he was sitting down and, thinking about that situation hard, of saying, how did the father reach that bottle? Simply because of when I arrived there, the bottle was, on the table. And of course, he is struggling with lungs and he's struggling to breathe. But why is he drinking this hot stuff? He was like putting 2 plus 2 together. That's when Zandile showed up and she told him that, the money that you gave me to go and do shopping, because he wanted to know how was the shopping. She said, no, I just bought whatever I can because the money was not enough. But don't worry about that. I have good news. My father just told me that, they have a new set of lungs and he is ready to go for operation tomorrow. But, he needs 300. Nkosana was so excited, was like saying, 300, that's nothing. I can even put 200 on top and make it 500 rand. Now that's when Zandile was saying not 500 rand, we need 300,000. You know how these things work. Operation is expensive and also medication is expensive. He was like, where will we get that money in a short period of time? We don't have that kind of money in the house. And Zandile was like saying, I know, but this is my father. He desperately needs our help. So he said, you know what, I will call my accountant and see if, we can have that money. Of course, Zandile was excited. He knew that if he's speaking about, talking about the accountant, that means the money will be available. And that scene was a great scene, because after that, he decided to go and, speak with Baba Ngobo, Zandile's father. He pushed him to his office and he said, Baba, I don't have a problem when you are drinking my alcohol. But what I want to know is that how did you reach there? Simply because of you cannot stand up. You are on your wheelchair. Now, Zandile's father started coughing, like maybe, he is not feeling well. And he said, no, don't pretend. I want to know how did you reach there. Now, he pushed him, to that side and he said, stand up, go there and reach your bottle again. Because you drank my alcohol and you reached there and you're playing with us, you can walk. Now that's when he started, calling Zandile's name. Zandile. When Zandile showed up, it was just chaos, because Nkosana was angry, was shouting at the father, and he was telling the father that don't pretend that you cannot walk. And Zandile was also, angry, because, she said, I know you hate my father. That was a bit hardy. I know you hate my father, but don't you ever try that. And Khlomo was there watching simply because of the noise. Everybody has to pay attention to the fight, what is going on. And that scene was so good simply because of Nkosana. He's a man who always sit down and think and look at things through. And he saw that there is something which is not right, with this old man. And he's pretending. But now, because of Nkosana didn't want to hurt Zandile, what did he do? He let it slide. But he knew exactly that what was going on, it wasn't what he wanted. And on the other side, we have seen Kawe continuing his romance with Naledi, because he went to hospital talking to Naledi. And the way I see the connection between the two, it looks like Naledi will be trapped in a space whereby she has to help Kawe to know who is actually the biological father of Mutania. Simply because of we have seen how close they are right now. They are very close, and she's gone. She loved him already. And on the other side, after they were kissing there and they spoke about everything, we have seen Khlomo and Kawe talking, because now Kawe had to come and greet Khlomo, and he said, can you please give me Naledi's numbers? And Khlomo wanted to know, why do you want Naledi's numbers? And he said, me and Naledi, we are like an item. We know each other. But I wanted to come to you since you guys are friends, so I can ask the numbers, straight from you. And that scene was important simply because of now Shlomo was becoming jealous. And Kawe did that on purpose, knowing that since you don't want to be with me, I am moving on with the doctor. And the doctor who is actually your friend. And when he did that by saying, can you please give me her number so that I can say you played a role so that I can be with her. It was a smart move because, Shlomo was like saying, if you know her, why don't you just go to her so that she can give you, her numbers. I'm not going to just give you, her numbers without her permission. And that was well thought. So that now she can be jealous and he can know actually if he is the biological, father of Tania. Guys, episode 28 was a great episode. At the end, we have seen Geja, going to speak with Mandisa and playing with Mandisa's mind. Because when Mandisa saw, him, she was not happy at all. And he said, listen, I am here simply because of you and I, we have, the same enemy. Our enemy is Sambulo. Sambulo is the one who removed your husband or your boyfriend, Ngoba, from that position of, the chairman of the association. So as the association, we are not happy about the way, Sambulo is doing things simply because of his greedy. He doesn't listen to anyone. So we rather, have a chairman like Ngoba rather than, Sambulo. Simply because of now Ngoba, he knows how to take care of people. He knows how to treat people well. And I know how you felt when, Ngoba was the chairman of the association. And that, statement right there made Mandisa, reminisce about the things that Ngoba did when he was the chairman association boss. Simply because of he used to bring money with buckets and he used to tell her to go and buy everything that she needs. And remember when Zandile and Shlomo, were surprised by the Mercedes, what he said, do you remember when I was still a boss? There was money in this house, money in the buckets, and you were going out and buying everything. But I cannot do that anymore. I am no longer a chairman of this association. So there is no money. And now once he said that, that came back to her and she knew that this is the opportunity for us to get back into power. And now, simply because of he told me that he doesn't have money, that's why he cannot afford to buy me a Mercedes-Benz. That means at last, if he get back to his position, we will have more money so that I will also have the Mercedes-Benz. Not knowing that he is playing tricks, not knowing that what he's doing is to make sure that she works with the Majola brothers so that they can take out one of the Zulu brothers, Sambulo. I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. Join me when I talk about episode 29 of The Wife, because it was also a great episode. Thank you.